Hello everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator once again. Today we're going to continue the ridiculous high wind landings. This time we're going to be using a Airbus Sidestick to land a Boeing 747. I figured, you know what, let's try seeing how it is to fly a big Boeing that has a yoke by default with a Sidestick. A big thanks to Thrustmaster for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out the TCA Sidestick and everything else I use, it will be linked in the description below. But let's go flying. Oh, this one looks like fun. Let's do some high wind landing in Innsbruck. Why not? Nestled high in the Australian Alps, Innsbruck is a seasonally busy international airport primarily serving the ski and alpine industry. Due to its location in a deep mountain valley, the approach and ascent process is a complicated and demanding one, made even more difficult by vicious winds and currents born from imposing mountain terrain. Well, it can't be that difficult, right? Yeah, okay. 292 at 25 knots, 160 knots, 140 on final to runway 26. That should be no problem. Of course I say that, and we've been doing really terrible with the landing challenges recently. All right, let's start slowing this thing down, my lord. They have us at 200 knots or so. We need to set our flaps too, so let's go. Oop, not 30. Nope, not up. What are you doing? Okay, it's being very strange about our flaps. Make sure we have 25. There we go. That'll work. And the speed should check out for that. Can we arm our speed brakes, please? They should be armed. We'll see if that happens. So, yeah, an A320 or an Airbus, for the most part, the captain does fly with his left hand, which makes this challenging. But the biggest challenge for me so far is this feels like I'm like, you know, I want to push the nose around and left and right like a fly-by-wire system. And a 747 just doesn't have that. They don't have the gear down for us either. They're really trying to kill us today, aren't they? Okay, cool. Go auto brakes 2. I have a feeling this baby wants to float. I can just feel it by the speed and how much it doesn't want to slow down. So pull our power all the way out. Look at those winds, 30-something knots. Woo! And this big old girl, it is going to, it's going to be a show, that's for certain. A lot of back pressure here. I would trim the airplane back, but that's okay. We're just doing this for right now. They said around 160 over this town, didn't they? Yeah, I believe so. All right, we'll continue this way. Ooh, it's a little foggy out there in the distance. That's cool. Yeah, as you can see, the 747, Queen of the Skies, has a yoke that you can see at the very bottom here of the screen. That is the yoke, and that's what you normally fly with it. But I figured, you know what, it would be fun because you know, we're using the TCA Sidestick, and I wanted to fly a big heavy jet with it because I've never tried this before. I've flown smaller bush planes with this setup, but not a 747. In fact, I don't have a lot of time in the 747 at all in this sim. All right, so let's bring that power back a little bit. We'll be shooting for about where the flaps 25 set. Man, it's pitchy. She's very pitchy. She's a pitchy girl. All right, we're a little high on the approach, but that's okay. Bring it on down. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it wants to bleed speed off at all. Now we're on the glide slope. Careful, careful. I'm gonna bring up my chair a little bit. I need a booster seat. Like a kid. My lord, man, this is nuts. There we go. That nose up attitude's crazy. There's 140 or so. Almost put it into those buildings, but that's all right. All right, pull the power completely out because this thing's gonna float for days, I have a feeling. Let her settle onto the blue, onto the blue. Oh yeah, reversers come out. Fly their nose wheel down on the ground like that. Right aileron to help with the crosswind there. Hey, we made it down though. Woof. Those winds almost threw us into those buildings. That was fun. And clear the reversers and come to a stop. There we go. We didn't even have to use any track IR. Challenge complete. 658,950 points. Well, let's see what we ended up with there. Precision, meh. Ground roll, meh. I'm always going to say that. Landing smoothness, 351. Still a little rough there. Let's try it one more time. All right, no messing around this time. Let's pull our power back. Let's get this thing slowed up. Auto brakes 2. Landing gear is going to come down. Flaps are supposed to be in transit, but they're not. There we go, 25. I think they're actually coming down now. They should be. We'll arm those spoilers. I don't know if that's actually going to work. We'll see. and start slowing her up to 160. This time we're not going to get super low to the ground, hopefully. Oh, look at that bad boy getting thrown around in that wind. Isn't that insane or what? All right, I feel like we have a pretty decent, stable approach here now at about 160 knots over here, and we're not super low this time. It's just, yeah, it's deprogramming my brain to fly the stick like it's an Airbus. This might be detrimental to my Airbus flying. I don't know. We'll see. There we go. A little bit of power there. It doesn't seem... Well, remember, we're getting, 30, 40 knots at our nose, and that's hitting the pitot tube on the side of the airplane, so we're getting, 30 knot over what it, our indicated airspeed there is 30 knots over what we actually are, across the ground at, so we're going to have a high speed on touchdown, which is fine. We're at 25 flaps there. I'm not using any more than that. I think that it would just be death if we tried any more flaps than that in these kind of winds. Let's be smoother this time. All right, 160 again. I say 160, but I mean 160-ish, honestly. All right, now we're looking better this time around. We're still a little tad high on the approach. We can let the nose come down, pull the power a little bit here, but I don't want to give too much throttle away this time, because last time it almost threw us into those buildings. Yeah, these airplanes, I've noticed the 747 and the A320 are very pitchy, but that's always been something with default airplanes in any sim. They're always so pitchy. It's like the CG is just completely bad. All right, bring the nose down a little bit more. There we go. Now we're looking pretty decent here. 3 white. Now we're 2 red, 2 white. Looking great. Looking gravy. This thing wants to float, so I'm going to kill the power like right here. Kill the power 100%, and we'll get into our flare here. Try to hit the blue marker and really smoke these babies. Oh yeah, reverses out. Left rudder there. Let the nose come down. Nice and gentle. Oh yeah, that was much better. And right aileron too into that wind. She's slowing down. And we go 60 knots. Clear them. We'll just come to a stop here. I don't know if that affects our score. Look at that. 1.93442. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Landing precision was 4773. Ground roll 1,814. And landing smoothness was 253. That wasn't too bad at all. We're 369 in the, not in the world. No way. No, not in the world. Our position, well, maybe. Yeah, we're 369 in the world. That's pretty good. Well, we got to do the famous one. It's going to be a normal approach, but into JFK, into New York. All right, runway 31 and winds are 340 at 15. Not bad at all. Coming right down at our nose. And 160 knots for the initial, 140 on final. All right. Well, we are in the area I like to call the CPU crusher. As far as frame rate and all that goes, this place is actually pretty tough on frames, JFK. 2,100 feet, let's start slowing her down to about 160 they wanted us at. Remember, 160 and then 140. And it looks like the flaps are actually coming down. I didn't select those, but they're selected at 20. We're gonna put the gear down. We'll go auto brakes 1. And that should be golden, actually. There you go. Oh, yep. Getting the frame rate starting to drop on us here. Clouds look pretty though, man. But they're making us trade cauliflower for performance of the sim, unfortunately. All right. Let's let the sim load in and do its thing. Well, it's pretty. It definitely is pretty looking. All right, so the winds are jumping up to about 17 or so there, which is pretty crazy. So keep in mind, this isn't going to be a calm wind landing, which I'm fine with. I've also noticed that in the last challenge, it seems that our touchdown in feet per minute matter way more than any part of the challenge. So we're going to aim for it being nice and smooth, meaning we're going to kill the power quite early. I believe this runway has a displaced threshold, meaning that you'll see a bunch of white lines, or white arrows actually, meaning we can't land on that. We have to land after it. So even though the runway looks longer than it actually is, we have a lot of space on that runway we cannot use. Let's see if it does the classic where it tries to destroy our frame rates as we get close to the runway. Right on the glide slope, though, we got 2 red, 2 white. We are looking all right. There we go. 175-ish is actually not bad considering. With these winds, I'm not going to put 30 degrees of flaps in. No need for that. There's the blue markers there. So let's go ahead and try to nail these blue markers the best we can. Pull my power out all the way here, and we'll get down into a flare. Try to hit our blue markers. Come on, baby. Oh, we missed by a little bit there. Reversers out. Fly the nose wheel down. Yeah, these default airplanes are super pitchy, man. Super pitchy. Oh, it's so great to get 15 frames per second at JFK. All right, stop her right there. Let's come to a slow and see. Whoa, not too bad. 952.824. We'll take that. We will definitely take that. Let's get her stopped. This is whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. So we had a landing precision around 4,000. So that was 1,036. Ground roll was 57 feet. Landing smoothness was 204. So that wasn't too bad. 4,456 in the world. But honestly, if I had a little higher frame rate, that might have helped us there. The actual challenge was to land at 15 frames per second. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for this video today. You can see my sensitivities I have set up for my side stick is -60 on the X, and the Y is -60 as well, and an 81 and 83. Kind of, I don't use any of those. I pretty much just use those. So that's what I'm using. No dead zones on them. I was using the T-pendular rudder pedals from Thrustmaster and the HOTAS Warthog for my throttle quadrant. Everything I use will be linked in the description below, but hopefully you see that the side stick is absolutely capable of flying any airplane in the sim, including a big heavy 747 that normally would use a yoke. And to be honest, it took me a while to get used to it because I'm just so used to the fly-by-wire system when I fly the Airbus side stick and pushing it where I want the airplane to go. So definitely challenging. I had a lot of fun doing it. We'll see you next time. Take care. I get asked all the time, do I have any merch available, or when are you bringing back the JF logos and some other fun ones that Nicole has done recently? You can check out the link in the description below, or you can look below the video, and it should be there, so you can go directly to the store. But just want to say thank you all for the support.